All right, progressive overload. We're going to be talking about progressive overload and how you can implement it into your training and how I've done it for years. Like the way I'm going to be explaining it today, this is the way I've been doing it for years, and I've been doing it working full time, commuting 2 hours every day, going to school on the side. Like even if you're really busy, I'm going to be explaining how you can implement this into your system so you can actually like get the best out of your training because like only through progressively overloading your muscles are you gonna actually really achieve something. Like if you always do the same shit, like the way you have to think about it is, like let's say I have this example down below of you doing 145 for 10 on let's say bench. Let's say you do that exact same workout the next time you train chest. Like it's not gonna hit the same because your body will have gotten stronger from your last training session. So you need to give it a fucking new fucking instance of fucking weight. So that's why you can't do the same shit. You always have to increase it. Your body has gotten stronger, and only through increasing intensity over time, this is the best way to fucking grow muscle. This is the way I've built my physique. This is the way literally anybody that's jacked has built their physique. So I'm going to be explaining it. Like, what is progressive overload? It's basically the gradual increase of stress. Your workouts basically get harder over time. To make it really simple, like for example, you could be increasing volume or intensity. This is what you could be doing. Like you could also be making your form better. Like that's also a form of progressively overloading. Like if you can add a rep or a little bit of weight, you can do better technique. That counts, of course. So the best way to do this, and the best way I found of doing this is to progress with RAR. What is RAR? It is reps in reserve. How many reps you have left the tank when you end the set. So if I stop at RAR 3, I would have been able to do 3 more reps with good technique, and then I wouldn't have been able to do any anymore. So to go from 4 RAR or 3 RAR to 0 RAR within a mesocycle is probably going to be your best bet. This is the way I've been doing it for years, and this has worked out great for me. I'm going to be explaining later on how you can actually do this because you might be thinking now, fuck, dude, how am I supposed to guess this all the time? Like, especially if you're doing a set, this can be really hard to like figure out. Oh man, how many reps do I have left in the tank? There's an easy way of doing it. I'm going to be explaining it, so don't worry about it. But yeah, just wanted to say this. This is the best way of doing it. Okay. Usually, just to explain this a bit better, like high RAR usually has low fatigue, but is less effective. Like if you have a lot of reps in the tank when you end your set, like yeah, sure, you can build some muscle with this, but we all want to be doing more, right? That's why it's not the best way of doing it probably. But it's low fatigue, so that's good. You can sustain it for a longer time. Low RAR on the other end, has high fatigue, obviously, but is way more effective. So how do we balance this? Obviously, you can't if you'd be missing out on shit if you were to do a whole mesocycle or macro cycle with full high RR. Like you just wouldn't be building as much muscle. And if you were to go for longer extended periods of time with high RR and with low RR, what happens then? You're just gonna fucking run yourself into the ground. Like your joints will hurt. You'll be very systemically fatigued. You won't be able to sustain that for long. Like your injury risk will go up. It's just not a very fun time. Okay, so how do we do it? We increase it from time to time, from session to session, from week to week over a mesocycle. That's the best way I found of doing it, and this has helped me a lot because I used to be really lost on this and didn't know what I was doing. So that's why I'm explaining this right here. And yeah, just a note, like for beginners, it can be even tougher, to really guess the fucking RAR correctly. Like usually beginners really fucking underestimate the RAR. Like they say, man, that's 1 RR. Would have been able to do only one more, and ends up fucking having like 10 reps in the tank. That's really normal because you're just not used to the fucking stimulus at the gym. Like you're just not used to training. Like it feels fucking hard, of course. You don't want to be going anymore. Like your mind just shuts off. So it's totally fair. That's why it's really hard to guess this, and this makes it kind of a problem because it's generally very hard to accurately estimate the RAR. It really is. Like I was struggling with this before, and when I didn't have a better way of doing it, I was just like, man, I don't know, it's just too hard. Let me stop the set. And it's just a not very fun way of training, and you always feel like you're kind of missing out. So it's kind of tough, right? You have this issue how to accurately and reliably decrease RAR over the time of a mesocycle. How the fuck do you do that? Well, the best solution is to do your best guess week one. Like do a 3 RAR guess week one on bench. Let's say 145 for 10. You put 145 on the bar, and you're like at the 10th rep, yeah, okay, this is fine. This is 3 hour. I would have been able to do 3 more. Okay, cool. You only have to do this once because next week you don't have to fucking guess anymore. You have a baseline rep and you have the weight, so that's good. You don't have to fucking guess around. Like, only thing you have to do is make it a bit harder. Just add a slight bit of weight. You have these, these 2.5 pounds plates you have at the gym, bro. Slap one of those on. Do 150 for 10 next week. Like, worst case scenario here is that you do RIR of 3 again, which is great for muscle growth. Because at that point, yeah, you will have adapted. You will have gotten stronger. So that's good, right? Next week, same shit. 155 for 10. Next week, 160 for 10. At this point, like, will your body have adapted that much to where you hit like 160 for 10 for an RIR of 3 within 4 weeks? Probably not. And if so, great job. You will have grown muscle and you have the fucking proof right here, So, like, this is just an example. Like, I think this is easy for everybody to understand. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below. Like, and yeah, dude, like this doing it this way, the RIR just drops naturally over the course of the mesocycle, which is absolutely fantastic. You just don't have to think about it that much. You just slap a slight bit of weight on. Or if you are doing dumbbells, like, I'm actually going to put this into this board here. But if you do dumbbells, like, instead of putting a little bit of weight on, you can just add a rep. Like, it's really easy to do. Or like I said, you could just do better technique, but I never do this. Like, my technique always stays the same, And this should be the case for you too, if you want to get the best results at the gym. And also another way, and you can do this simultaneously. I'm doing this simultaneously. I've been doing that for years to also increase the sets over the course of a mesocycle. So I start week 1 with doing 6 sets of chest, for example. And if for my next chest day, I have already recovered way ahead of time, let's say like 1 or 2 days before the training session, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to add a set to make it more efficient. Like, clearly it wasn't a big enough stimulus for your body to be really sore like up until the next training session, and you don't want to have a lot of days before your next training session where the muscle is already recovered. Like, ideally, like a day before the training session, your muscle will have recovered, so the next day, boom, you go in, you get it again, and you just constantly stack that stimulus up and you build a ton of muscle over time. So this is a great way of doing it. I usually just add a set. And if you wonder about like, oh fuck, dude, like, I've written down all of my numbers. Let's say you did 145 for 10 first set, 145 for 8 on the second one. On the third one, you did like 6 reps. Like, what do? Then you just do 5, for example. Like, it's pretty easy to accurately guess like what's gonna be an RIR 3 here for each set. It's pretty simple. But you're gonna have to note, like, adding sets is only going to be feasible if you have the time available, obviously. Like, I was talking about this earlier, like, if you work, if you have your own business, if you have a lot of shit going on, probably the best way to do it is just to do 2 sets. Like, when I was really busy all the time, I used to do 2 very hard sets for each exercise, and they were perfect technique and were going to failure. Like, if you're on a tight schedule, like, start the mesocycle. I'd recommend this to you. Start the mesocycle at very close to failure and definitely end it on failure, okay? So you don't do 3 RIR, you do at most 1, week 1, because we don't want to be spending too much time at the gym doing too many sets. Sure, like, doing higher volume grants better results and generally, but you're not going to be missing out much. That's why the best way to go about this is you can get so much out of low volume if you do it correctly. It is insane, especially like if you do myo reps too. I've talked about this in another video. Like, definitely do myo reps if you're strapped for time. Like, it'll make a huge difference, and your short training sessions will be better because of it. You'll gain more muscle out of a fucking half an hour session that way. Okay, so that's why that is very important. Like, if you're on a tight schedule, to keep that in mind. I talk about this right here. I have this open here. Let me just quickly go like this. Yeah, right here. Like, this is basically it. Low volume supersets with antagonistic muscle groups, no extra cardio. High rep first set to skip the warm up. Home workouts, if you have equipment, pretty simple stuff. But yeah, man, I guess this is it for the progressive overload explanation here. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one.